Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Run With Us shoe review. Today I'm going to be breaking down the brand new Altra Rivera. This is a brand new shoe in their lineup that I'm actually really excited to talk about, so let's get to it. Thanks for checking out this shoe review. Victor here from Run With Us. I'm actually really excited to talk about it. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite shoes to train in. It's one of those pack everywhere I go shoes. Yeah, let's get to it. Before I really start breaking down the shoe, let's quickly go over some of the specs. The Altra Rivera comes in weighing in at an 8.4 ounces for a men's size 9 and 7 ounces for a women's size 8. The stack height of the shoe is 26 millimeters, so that basically just refers to the amount of material underneath your foot. And like all Ultras, this shoe is a zero drop shoe. Okay, so let's start breaking down the things that I like about this shoe. I wanna start off with the fit, mainly because as somebody that is pretty new to Altra, one of the things that I always said was, well, what if I don't want all that toe space? You know, then what? It's great that you have all that wiggle room, but I like a snug fit. The Altra Rivera nailed it with this. The Rivera still gives you that foot-shaped toe box, but it does it in a more streamlined way. People that want kind of more of a streamlined, performance-oriented fit, I really think the Rivera is that perfect blend between giving you a good amount of space in your toe so you're not all cramped, but still hugging your foot really well and give you a more, it gives you a more performance-oriented fit. Another thing that I'm really loving about the Rivera is how lightweight it is. 8.4 ounces for a men's size 9 may not seem like, you know, oh, this is a really light shoe. But this is one of those shoes that it really does feel lighter than what it comes in weighing at. I put it with that Rincon Beacon category in terms of that lightweight feel. It feels like there's nothing on your foot. I really like it over another lightweight shoe of Ultras, the Escalante, because the Escalante would beat me up if I got into longer miles, where the Rivera feels lightweight, but it gives you a good amount of cushioning under your foot where I wasn't feeling like it was beating me up as I got longer into a workout. For example, I did a 4-mile warm-up, did I think 6-mile repeats, and then a little cool down, and it probably ended up around 13, 14 miles for the day. I never really thought about the shoe in terms of, oh man, this is beating me up. So it was a perfect amount of cushioning. It was light, responsive, really everything I could want in a lightweight trainer. One thing to note, and thanks to a viewer for requesting and commenting about this, if your run is going to be 2 hours and beyond, I probably would recommend going to something like the Torin. It's going to give you a little bit more cushion than the Rivera would provide. Because I think anything over 2 hours, you probably will begin to feel the impact of the shoe. Okay, so now let's talk about the midsole. This is actually something I'm really excited to talk about. I've been wanting to do a video on it. Maybe I'll just break this part off and set it at its own video. I'm really excited about Altra's 1-2 punch in terms of the foams that they use in their main shoes. Here's what you need to know. They have two main midsoles. One is called Ego and the other is called Quantic. Quantic is going to be their softer, more kind of plush foam. They use it on shoes like the Torin and the Paradigm, where the Ego is more responsive, a little bit on the firmer side, and it's going to be in shoes like the Rivera and also the Escalante, for example. What I love about Quantic is that it's a softer midsole, but it still gives you a good amount of bounce. And this is something that, you know, there's always a balance of how much cushion do you want in a shoe, and is it giving you bounce because you don't want to feel flat, you know, when you're out on your run. So that's something that I've really enjoyed, especially, for example, running in the Paradigm. It just feels really cushioned. Nothing beats me up about the shoe, but I never feel flat in it. So if I see a buddy coming and trying to speed up, I can actually go with him without any issue, without feeling like I'm losing something in my stride. Ego is a more responsive shoe, and while it's a bit too firm for me or just not enough in the Escalante, it has the perfect amount of cushion in the Rivera where I feel protected, but I got that bounce, and I really feel fast and lightweight and nimble. Yeah, so I'm really excited with those two midsoles that they use. I think they really have something there in that 1-2 punch. One of the things that I'm really loving about the Rivera and running an Altra in general is that no matter what shoe I'm running in, it all feels seamless to me. What I mean by that is whether I'm running in the Rivera, the Touring, or the Paradigm, it all feels the same to me, except different levels of cushioning. But the ride in general feels the same. I don't know if I'm describing it the best way I can, but just for example, let's say you take the Endorphin Pro and then you go run in the Ride or the Triumph. They're just completely different. They're meant to be, right? Like they're geared to be completely different shoes, but there is a difference where someone that's running in the Endorphin Pro may not like the fit of the Ride. I don't really think that can happen in Altra, at least from my experience, because they all feel like I'm getting that same stride, that same ride, but one I'm getting max cushion in the Paradigm, and then the other one I just feel super light and quick, like in the Rivera. Okay, so before I go into some of the things that I'm not too thrilled about in this shoe, if you're finding value in this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. It should be somewhere down there, I think. Pew, pew, pew. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to us, helps out the channel. So now let's get into the bad, or I don't know, maybe just not necessarily so good about the Rivera. First thing I want to cover is the fit. While I personally like the fit, I like it's nice and snug, one of the things that you might want to do if you're on the fence in terms of sizing, you may want to size up, because I've heard of some people sizing up. I'm still the same size in this shoe, but it does feel more on the snug side compared to some other styles like the Touring or Paradigm that I run in. Maybe it's that more streamlined fit, but just make sure that you get the sizing down right. This isn't necessarily for the Rivera, and it's more of an Altra thing in general. But in my opinion, heel striking in an Altra isn't very smooth. I don't normally heel strike, so it's kind of hard for me to weigh in on this. I've done a lot of wear testing, a lot of shoes and things like that. And when you check out the shoe, this portion, it's basically untouched. One of the things that I like to do when testing a shoe is I try to land on my heel and see, okay, what would it feel like for a heel striker? How's that transition? One of the things that I've noticed with Altra, I just don't personally think that heel striking is very smooth. On the positive side, I really do feel that running an Altra has helped my stride become a little bit more compact and efficient. I feel my leg kicking up a little bit better. My bone just cracked. I feel my stride coming along really well instead of being a little sloppy. The next thing I want to cover is the tongue and heel area. Ultra does a really good job with having a lot of cushion on their tongue and in general in the heel area, but mainly I'm referring to the tongue with the Rivera. With that, when I was putting on the shoes, now that I've worn it, a bunch, I kind of have that nice lockdown kind of, position. But, my first couple of runs in it, it did feel like I had to, give it a little extra oomph to get a lockdown feel. The heel was generally unstructured. My heel hasn't slipped. I haven't had any issues like that, but it is something that when I was putting it on, it was just something that I was aware of. Not a huge deal, just something I wanted to call out because it was something I noticed. Okay, let's get to the outsole. Huge caveat with this, it is a lightweight trainer. They do have to minimize how much rubber is on the outsole, and it does have more than a shoe like the Rincon or the Beacon. So, it's overall, it's not an issue. I did notice the outside of my shoe start to wear pretty quickly. But one thing I need to call out on myself is that I do that to basically all of higher performance kind of shoes. Maybe I'll put up a picture of the Endorphin Pro and the Speed and how I chewed those shoes up. But it is something that I noticed on the outsole, just after a couple of runs is shaving that down pretty good. I think that's about it. There's really not that much that I could really complain about in this shoe. I've really enjoyed running in it. It's become one of my top shoes that I want to take everywhere because I just feel really comfortable in it and have really enjoyed running in it. I started doing that with the Endorphin Speed just because I enjoyed running in that shoe so much. I started taking it everywhere. This is kind of that same situation where it's kind of in that carry everywhere bag. That's it for this Altra Rivera review. I'm actually really excited about this shoe. I'm looking forward to the future and having this be a staple in their lineup. If you guys have any questions, comments, want me to break anything down, do different comparisons, please let me know. Reach out in the comments or hop over to Instagram, wherever it is. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you have. So I hope this was helpful. If you found value in this, please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. That's about it for me. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.